Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because I was just noticing I've noticed it a million times in your performances, and in that clip there, you have such you're a very intimidating look. I'm sure you've heard that before. Mm-hmm. You know, you just have this. Well, not now. Now you're going. That's so funny. So you have a intimidating look, and you're like, I kind of do. I mean, it's serious. I mean, like, and I think for that reason, people gravitate towards giving you these intense roles, don't you think?
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. Do you ever think... You're not doing it now. Like, I'm seeing now that in real life you're kind of a goofy, you know. You're like, okay, we're ready to go, and action, and then you're just like, Do you ever think, is there a part of you that wants to do a really silly comedy,
sure,
like a Herbie the Love Bug remake?
Absolutely. Absolutely, but because people don't often think of me for it, you know, it's like you got to bend over backwards to make anyone think you can do it, so sometimes it doesn't quite make sense.
Right.
And they're, you know, particularly when they're casting movies, they're pretty literal about, he's a funny guy, he's not a funny guy. They aren't real
He's intense, right. He's
exactly.
done that before, so let's just get him for that.
But in the theater, I do stuff that's comic, I think, and also there's different kinds of comedy. I mean, something like, I don't know whether you remember Wild at Heart, but that turn as Bobby Peru it's high comedy as far as I'm concerned.
Well, let's talk about you have a theater group down in Soho, the Wooster Group.
Right.
And am I pronouncing it right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like the street.
Just like the street. Okay. You have this theater group down there, and I've actually seen you around that part of town a lot.
Right.
I never say hi. I'm very shy, but I've noticed that that's a part of town where there are a lot of clubs, a lot of parties going on, a lot of partiers. Does that bother you? Do they ever, you know, when you're walking around your club, is that ever a problem that they're right next to your theater, all those clubs?
It's probably good for the theater. I mean, sometimes it's a little crowded down there, and I've been down there for almost 25 years. It's changed a lot. You know, you get drunk people hanging out at 4 o'clock in the morning, you know, pissing on your stoop, that sort of thing.
You're so easygoing about it. Occasionally a guy comes to my theater, pisses on the front of it, but what are you gonna do? That's life. Have you actually caught someone doing that?
Absolutely. I mean, one time I remember seeing a guy pissing right on my stoop, and I said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he looked at me, you know, making a mess of himself, and he said, "I can't help it. I'm from New Jersey." And
You know what?
I can't figure out whether he was making an excuse because he couldn't hold it until he got home.
Yeah, because there are no bathrooms here in the city. Yeah, right.
Or New Jersey's just famous for incontinent.
Yeah,
people.
right.
It's a medical condition.
It's on their license plate now.
Oh,
yeah.
was that one?
Yeah.
Oh, Florida.
There are, of course, in this city, there are a lot of, and especially downtown, it's a serious problem. There are a lot of homeless people walking around, and some people are afraid to talk to them. In this city, actually, I think you're kind of forced to, you have to interact with them, which I think is kind of good. Have you found that to be true?
Well, yeah, there's homeless people down in Soho because I think it's a safe place for them to sleep. No one seems to bother them. And actually, near the theater, I've known, like, I can think of 3 people in particular that I've seen. They've lived on the street for years, and I have a relationship with them, and they give me advice, career advice and
seriously?
Health advice. Yeah. I remember one night coming home quite late, and one of these guys says to me, "Hey, Will, you guys start taking care of yourself, man."
You got to take that advice.
Cardboard box.
Right. Oh, I'm worried about you. Well, let's American Psycho. This is it was a very controversial book when it came out.
Right.
And so it's kind of gutsy to say, okay, I want to be in this film. Because when the book came out, it polarized people. There were people that loved it, and there were people that were absolutely incensed by it.
Yeah.
Were you at all worried about taking on the movie role, or not really?
No. I've known the director for a little while. She did a movie called I Shot Andy Warhol.
Great film.
It was a great script. I liked the book. I was just, happy to be a part of it. I don't have a big role in it, but I just like the whole project. So, and I think I like it very much. It's very, very understated and funny and dark at the same time.
Right. It blends the two, which is very hard to do, I would imagine.
It is.
American Psycho. It opens next Friday, but you can see it sooner at a benefit screening for the Wooster Group here in New York City next Wednesday,
Right.
April 12th, and that's benefiting your theater.
Right, and also there's a party afterwards where John Cale is going to be performing.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I come to that and then piss on your stoop afterwards? It just seems like the thing to do now. All right, well, Willem, thank you very much. Continued success. Willem Dafoe, everybody. No Doubt is coming up